And we are live, baby. What's going on, YouTubers? What's up? What's up? What's up? Tenia be here at your service with a Lesbian candid. All right, so I appreciate each and every one of you all who has watched my videos. And if you're new to this channel, welcome. So today I'm going to talk about, you want to make it work. So many of us get into relationships. I know I have been in multiple relationships. And for the most part, that I know for myself and from talking to other people, we never get in relationships to really break up. Like, really, why? Most of us do get in relationships to actually want to have a happily ever after. We may have seen it from our parents, we may have seen it from our grandparents, that is possible to have a happily ever after. But I know from my experience, I'm just like, is this ever going to happen? Because it seems like it just keep messing up. Like it just doesn't work like whatsoever. Like I'm just like, oh my gosh, right? So, I do my channel on, lesbian domestic violence from the perspective of the actual abuser, really supporting people who were on my side of the coin, where it came to, being like controlling, possessive, being like all insecure, low self-esteem, losing your confidence and losing yourself and your partner. So that's why I'm making this channel, to support anybody who was like me and who may still have some of those characteristics how I had in the past, that really wants to uplift and shift from those lower vibrations, push you in a place of happiness and joy. It always feels better that way. All right, so like I said, making it work. Okay, like a lot of us want to make it work. So if you want to make it work, like there's things that really must be done. And one thing that I've noticed so far in my relationships and, new relationships, old relationships, is a huge factor in making something work, is loving yourself. Like, seriously, loving yourself. Like a lot of times I will come in the relationship and I'm loving myself. I'm feeling whole and complete. I can tell my partner is feeling whole and complete, and we all happy and all love and stuff. And it's like, oh my gosh, maybe this is it. Maybe this is it. We want to stay in love, right? And then all of a sudden, well, I know I can speak for myself. I end up start losing myself. I will become so consumed in the other person, what they're doing, making sure that they eat, making sure that they being taken care of, like making sure that all of their desires are met before my own. And so by doing that, little by little, each day, each hour, I began to just lose myself more and more and more, to the point where I wasn't working out anymore. I wasn't really eating as healthy anymore. I wasn't really living my purpose anymore. Like I was so wrapped up in them that I wasn't even working on my goals and dreams. And so that really began to just take a hold on me. And that's when like a lot of just shit just started coming up for me, because I didn't know who I was anymore. I had no idea who I was. And I could tell that the other person, they began to lose their self too, because it was such a back and forth, bickering and bickering and bickering. And when we actually sat back and realized, like, we are not loving ourselves. We're so consumed in the other person. So I know that's one of the number one things of making it work, is to really be and so involved with your own self that you will not lose yourself with your partner. Because when both partners are whole, when you're whole, great things can happen. Like a happily ever after can absolutely happen. If you feel like you're whole and like your partner is not really reflecting that, I would suggest to not compromise, you loving yourself for your partner, because it's just not going to work, because it's not, you're coming from a place of letting them drink from your cup, like you got to allow your partner to love your partner from the overflow, like you have what's in the cup, and the partner gets what's in the overflow, that the stuff that falls like in a little saucer plate, like that's what they get. Okay, so that both of you all can remain in a state of bliss of within yourself. So just really keep that in mind. And compromises, like, okay, but don't compromise your own happiness. Don't compromise, something that, like, don't compromise your integrity for your person and stuff. Like, that's going to end up hurting you in the long run as well. Even in the short run, it's going to end up hurting you. And I know for myself, like in my past, by compromising or like self-sacrificing things for like my lover, like it just seemed like it didn't matter to my partner. I would try to use him like, well, I did this, I did that, and they just look at me like, well, I ain't asked you to, and then it just made me just feel just really horrible. Okay. Like I just felt really, really horrible. So compromises are good, having compassion, but remember to not compromise your own happiness, not compromise your own integrity for the sake of saving a relationship. So we're talking about making it work. So if you really want to make it work, you got to keep loving yourself. Like that's one of like the core things you can possibly do. That's one of the biggest gifts that you can do for yourself. And if you really wanted to make it work in your partnership, is to continue to love yourself. And I'm telling you, if you both of you are doing this and both of you really can see a future with one another, you can have that happily ever after. You really can. Like I've seen it happen in so many couples and relationships, especially like the older generations, that's what they do. They love each other and they like each other too. That's something too though. I remember I asked a couple, I said, well, like, how can y'all possibly like still be so gonna have a happy time with them? Like you can still love people from afar, but that don't mean that you like them and you ain't gonna wanna be with nobody who you don't. So I hope that you all got some type of, value from this. And like if you felt yourself not really loving yourself, to really just do some deep evaluation for your own self and be like, where in my life am I not loving myself? You know, and don't worry so much about the partner, because one thing I did notice, like when I was beginning to do like spiritual work in my relationships, without even having to talk to my partner, like, hey, let's work this out. We got to do this. We got to do this, that, and that. By me just being with my own self, loving my own self, pouring love in myself, it somehow like made my partner act right in my eyes, because you start to see things in a different filter when you're coming from a place of love and not coming from a place of like lack and limitation. So keep that in mind. I'm telling you, it will work. It will definitely work. So I appreciate each and every one of you who watched this video. Catch me on my next one. Definitely hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, and share with anybody who you feel that can take some value from this and can benefit from this. And definitely, if you want to talk to me on a more intimate basis, hit me up, hit me up, hit me up. Only if you got good vibes at 2487 Tenia B. That's 2487 Tenia B. And yeah, that's my Google voice. So just like state your name and then I'll pick up on my end. All right, y'all. I love you. Keep loving yourself. Holla.